Chainlink is solving a very critical problem in cryptocurrency. If you want to take real world data, right, that we currently use, like the Internet of Things, all this little data, and put it into a smart contract, which is very crucial. We know that smart contracts in cryptocurrency are one of the biggest value propositions that we have. Well, you can't do it in a decentralized nature. So why are smart contracts better than just regular contracts? Well, Chainlink is decentralizing that process. They're helping, connect real world data via API to the blockchain. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys a review of Chainlink. I like it. It was in my top 3 altcoin picks. And then I'm also going to give you a price prediction. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite altcoins, Chainlink. Okay, I know I put it in my top 3 altcoin picks, right? But a lot of people are asking me why did you pick Chainlink? Okay, and it's for various reasons, right? I like to think back to the internet boom. I obviously wasn't old enough, but I did a lot of research in my history, and a lot of companies out there, kind of fell. They didn't really last, right? Like they would say like 95% of all the companies, creating internet products, right? Internet businesses, they eventually went out of business. And the reason is because people were offering everything and anything out there. They were just kind of throwing ideas into the air, getting crowdfunding or, funding from banks or even like loan sharks, right? And creating these businesses, and the money wasn't real, right? They weren't actually solving a problem. So when I look at cryptocurrency, I look at it in the same way. How, are these people offering, everything? I've seen these coins that offer, like some ridiculous claims, but are not doing anything about it. Chainlink is a little bit different, okay? Very simple. Big problem in cryptocurrency, which is how to connect real world data, right, that we currently use, and put it into a smart contract, the biggest value proposition in cryptocurrency. But before we get started, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, my name is Alex and I talk about everything internet entrepreneurial. If you're looking to make money on the internet, this is definitely the channel for you. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as that push notification bell so you can get the videos first, just like this. I'm not trying to showboat, guys. I'm just giving you the real deal, no spiel, like I'm practical, knowledge that you can apply like today, right? So you can go do your own research. I'm gonna show you how I research my, cryptocurrencies as well as companies, so you can follow along and do it yourself. So let me jump into it, right? So you see right here, smart contracts are connected to real world data, events, and payments. Now keep in mind, there's all this data out there that is not being utilized on the blockchain for this reason, right? So smart contracts, if you don't know what a smart contract is, it's just like a regular contract, right? So for example, let's say you have a contract with your landlord to pay him rent every month, but they execute automatically. And it's like artificial trust. So if, let's say, for example, you don't pay rent, well, you're going to get evicted. You're going to have to go to a judge, and then the judge is going to rule on if you should pay a certain amount, or if, they were wrong and, your living conditions were bad or something like that, right? The smart contract is the same thing in a sense that there is no third party, right? There is no, it automatically executes. If you, if you put the payment on the blockchain, it's going to automatically send it no matter what. It's immutable, unhackable, just like the blockchain. It's basically just sets a certain amount of rules for people and it executes automatically. So we want that, right? We want that in applications. There's a lot of use cases like casinos right now that people are using, games even, you could have a variety of smart contracts in a game. But the problem is that all these use cases currently in cryptocurrency are not connected to real world data. Like, what do I mean by that? So for example, let's say you wanted to make a smart contract for yourself to lose weight, right? And you want to hold yourself accountable. And if you don't, you basically have $1,000, right? And maybe you do this with like 4 or 5 different people, and you guys all put $1,000 each into the smart contract, and you hold yourself accountable to working out 5 times a day, and you have to keep your Apple Watch on while you work out. Well, real world data in a sense would be like your heart rate, your blood pressure, like any basically measurement that your smartwatch can make, right? So the amount of steps you took, right? All these things will be calibrated, and Chainlink hopes to take that real world data and be able to execute it in a smart contract. So for example, if you guys said that everybody has to work out, 5 times a week, or the time you don't work out a percentage of that $1,000 goes to the other people, right? You get what I'm saying with the smart contract. And you know, you didn't track it or you didn't work out that day, well, it's going to automatically execute on the smart contract. Nobody can do anything about it. This is the agreement you guys made. And this is the value you'll get. Now, there's all types of data all over the world. There's all types of sensors with doctors. You know, there's sensors even, you know, on the street lights, right? Like anything that has a computer has sensors. And we could take this data, there's something called the Internet of Things, and execute it on the blockchain with Chainlink. That's what they plan on doing. Now, you could technically do it right now, but there's one major, you know, there's one central point of failure. And the whole point of decentralization is that you can't take it down. You can't take an API connection down with one point of failure. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, if you like, this is a bad picture of it. But guys, by the way, I'm basically giving you the overall gist. You can go read the white paper for yourself. But to make it simple for my viewers, I like to do this. So for example, right now, if you were to connect the API, somebody can technically hack the API, right? Just the central point of that one point of failure, right? And the thing about that is that if that's the case, well, then you might as well go write a regular contract, because you know, they have one point of failure, which is the paper contract. Somebody could rip it up, burn it, right? That's one point of failure. But blockchain is decentralized by nature. So for example, it's the difference between blockchain and like a cloud service or something like that is that the cloud service has one database, maybe multiple databases, but if you were to take one down, it would have, you know, substantial losses to that cloud server, or you might be able to lose it all, right? That's one point of failure. With blockchain, we have hundreds of nodes out there, and if you were to take down one node, it will not compromise the blockchain. That's the whole point, right? So they are doing the same thing with APIs. They are decentralizing the API so that there's not one point of failure. So if somebody attacks one point of that API connection, right, connect to an external API, then it will not take down the whole connection to the real world data. It's very hard to explain. But as you can see, end-to-end reliability. So you any input, right, any real world data into the Chainlink, right, then it goes through the blockchain, right, with the blockchain is very secure, back to Chainlink, and then any output, which the output usually going to be a smart contract, right? So you guys can read into this for yourself. I highly recommend, you know, going through all white papers and everything like that and looking at the various features, right? As you can see here, connect to any API, send payments anywhere. You know, this explains it in more detail. Smart contracts require middleware to connect to the real world data. This external data will trigger the contract, creating the need for this higher reliability. You see how I'm saying one point of failure, right? Now, they decentralize it. There's multiple points to where if you take this one point right here down, the other two are still running. That's the nature of decentralization, a highly reliable, decentralized Oracle network. Now, these guys are actually doing stuff, right? They partnered with Google as well as Oracle. So like I said, you know, from the beginning of this video, I like to work with companies that are actually executing. They are executing, hence why they have a partnership with Google. And this is another reason why I picked the coin, right? So they have all types of, you know, they're just solving a very simple problem. They're actually executing on it, and they're having some very strategic partnerships. Keep in mind, guys, Google they have a monopoly on our data, right? So remember how you can take real world data and put it into a smart contract? Well, guess what? Who has all the real world data? Google has all the real world data, okay? Keep in mind, when you guys go on, for example, Gmail, you go to Google Sheets, you go to Google Docs, are these not all free? Back in the day, before we had Google Sheets and stuff like that, which I remember when it came out, Google Docs, I remember I used it. I was in class when it came out. You know, we had to pay for Microsoft Word. We paid a subscription, or either a one-time fee where you buy the disk, or now you have to pay like a month-to-month or a yearly subscription, right? And it costs hundreds of dollars. I remember you can go buy, you could have bought it for $300-400, right, for that disk. But for some reason, we get Google Docs for free. Why? It's because all these services like Google Sheets, which by the way, we're going to use this price predictor, guys. Google Sheets and all that, and Google Docs and all these free services that Google provide, they make money on the back end. They create these free services for you so that you can go input your data and they can use it for whatever, right? And sell your information to the highest bidder so someone can advertise to you your characteristic type and make some money on it, right? Maybe you've bought something online from an advertisement. Have you? I have. And that's how it works, right? These people make money by selling your information to the highest bidder. Okay, so think about it. Chainlink partnered with the biggest data hoarder in the world. They have a monopoly on data right now. What do you do when you want to know something? You go to Google or YouTube. They own both. Okay, not only that, but you're probably using Gmail. Think about it, guys. So they partnered with the biggest data hoarders. They're going to have the most use cases for this API connection. I have no doubt about it. As long as they execute on what they're saying, everything's going to fall into place. So I believe that this is going to be a major player in cryptocurrency by far, just for those small reasons, but they're very powerful reasons, guys. I'm not, a lot of people go into the technical indicators, start talking about this and that, or this piece of news, or this, when I make an investment strategy, it's typically very long term. I do not care about the short-term price of the coins. I only care if they're going to last for 5 to 10 years. That's it. Okay. And that's how I make my decisions. Typically if you look at investors, throughout time, that's how you should be making your decisions in cryptocurrency, because it's the most volatile market in the whole entire world. And, most people can't trade successfully on cryptocurrency when China is putting out some weird news, or, they love cryptocurrency one day and then they hate it another, when China does the most volume out of any, country in the whole entire world into Bitcoin. So keep in mind, this is a different game if you're coming from Forex, if you're coming from traditional investing. And I'm not really worried about that. I'm just worried about, are they going to execute on the problem? It's as simple as that to me. So that's why I picked Chainlink. Now let's jump into some price predictions. Let's see exactly what I think, is going to happen in the future. By the way, guys, I have something called the price predictor calculator. If you didn't already know, I just recently dropped a course, called Blockchain Basics. You can go below and click the link and check it out for yourself. Basically, all it does is it teaches you how to buy, sell, send, receive, and store cryptocurrency. That's really the only thing you need to know to navigate this new Internet 3.0. So like, you guys know my strategy. I just, collect coins over time. And if that's all you're willing to do, you don't want to worry about, trading and everything like that. Well, and you can't confidently send your cryptocurrency from Coinbase to, for example, a cold storage wallet. If you don't know what a cold storage wallet, if all this sounds crazy to you, please check that course out. I made it for a reason. It's very fundamental. I'm not trying to promise anybody riches, simply how to navigate this new Internet 3.0. And I do offer the price predictor calculator for free in this course. You get it for free. I teach you how to use it. And you're going to see it in a lot of my videos. So let's jump into some price predictions. So to make a prediction on a future, coin, right? It's like, what's the price of the coin in the future? We have to take in consideration the market cap divided by the coin circulating supply. Okay, so first let's just do some, fun math here. So if you were to invest $1,000 into Chainlink, okay, when it was at its all-time low, right, which its all-time low was at 12 cents, 12.6 cents, okay, you would have got 7,917 coins, okay? The percentage increase to the all-time high, which the all-time high was at $4.54, okay, would have been, a 3,494% increase. Your profit would have been 35 grand. Okay, that's great, right? 1,000 to 35,000 is kind of unheard of. Okay, so if you were to invest $1,000 today, you would have got 465 coins. Now, I believe I wrote this out yesterday, so it could be a little bit different. Let's recalibrate. So we're at $2.19. Let's come back here. Oh, it went up 5%. Let's put the 19 cents in there. See, it automatically, it is not made up numbers here, guys. This is actually calculated in the back end. So if you take $1,000 you invested today, you got 456 coins. If it goes back to the all-time high, that's 100%, 107% increase. And you double your money. Your profit would be $200. I mean, $2,000, $2,073. Okay. Now, that's good to look at, right? Because most likely it's going to go to its all-time high eventually, right? You guys know how cryptocurrency works. It's making the next infrastructure of the internet. Chances are the internet's going to be run on the blockchain in the future. Like, I'm talking 5-10 years, probably even longer than that. And you know, if that's ever a reality, then cryptocurrency is going to make some money. That's a fact. They're going to have some more market share. As you can see right here, Bitcoin's at $105 billion. If we ever even pass Apple, right, or Amazon, right, we're going to see, like, for example, if you look at Amazon here, it's at 105 billion. Guys, we're going to see a 4, 5, 6x on all the cryptocurrencies. If you pick the right ones, even way more than that. And you know, that's what I predict in the future. People have different opinions. If they have a different opinion, 99% of the time, they're looking at the value of the coins. They're not looking at how the internet works currently, and how the infrastructure is inefficiently running right now. And it's basically a dictatorship. It's basically a monopoly. And blockchain technology is decentralizing that, giving people's, you know, power back to the people with their data. But that's for another topic. We're talking about the future value of Chainlink. So let's go back into it. So if you take $1,000 and invest it today into Chainlink, you're going to get the 456 coins, and, you know, 456.62 coins. Now we have to figure out a prediction on the future circulating supply and the future market cap. Now there's two ways I do this. Okay, typically I'll look at this, but this is a little bit different. I want to calibrate it according to, for example, altcoins. So if you know what XRP is, you know, it's one of the biggest coins. I believe it's coin number 3 right now. It's ranked number 3 on the coinmarketcap.com. Now I like to calculate this. If you come here to the last bull run, so keep in mind this calculation is going to be like a 3 to 5 year calculation. Whenever the next bull run comes, that's what I'm predicting. Okay, so if we come here and we look at the market cap, so we can see at one point the market cap was at what, $119 billion. Yeah, that's 100,000. Yeah, $119 billion. Okay, now that's pretty crazy. I'm not going to calculate the market cap to be $119 billion because that's unrealistic. If we look at Ethereum really quickly, we can look at one point in the bull market, the market cap was $132 billion. Okay, so you can see where I'm getting, you know, these numbers from, right? So if I take one, you know, 1/5 that, 1/6 that, 1/4, whatever, right? I kind of threw it in at, as you can see here, $45 billion. That's realistic, right? It's not overpassing, you know, XRP or Ethereum. They're still the top dogs, right? This is just jumping up a couple of spaces in the bull market, you know, top 10, maybe top 15 coin. Where is it at right now? It's ranked 16. So let's say it gets to position 7 or 8. Here, we could even look at Litecoin, for example, because that's like a top 10 coin. Let's look at Litecoin and EOS, right? Like if we click Litecoin, let's see how much their market cap was in the bull market. Let's look at right here. So as you can see here, at one point it was 16 billion, but the reason why the price was so high is, I believe, because of the supply was low. So that's not really a good coin to look at because our supply is a lot. Yeah, the supply is so much lower. Let's look at, for example, EOS. Let's see EOS and see how much they're, let's see, at one point in the bull market, they're at a 15 billion. Maybe we should lower the, yeah, I think after looking at those two numbers, let's put this at like 20 billion. Let's say it passes EOS, which EOS is technically doing nothing right now. Let's say 25 billion. Say it passes EOS, passes Litecoin. Okay, now we have to look at the circulating supply. So when this coin was created, it was pre-minted. It wasn't like Bitcoin where you have to mine it to mint the coins. Okay, and basically, I'm not going to read this article. This is just the one part I want to look at right here. 35% were sold as an ICO or crowd sale, right? 35% went to the node operators. So these are, and Bitcoin would have been, you know, the people that run the miners, right? So 35% went to them, right? And then 30% went to the company for the development of the cryptocurrency. Let's say, for example, obviously all these were sold to the people, right? Let's say, for example, they dumped like 80% of all their, so 80% of the tokens are in circulation. They sold it off for whatever reason. And this is a worst case scenario. I love doing worst case scenarios because, you know, obviously you want to overestimate, you don't want to underestimate. So let's say they dumped 80%. So if we look here at the price of Chainlink or the actual coin of Chainlink, let me just jump back over here to CoinMarketCap. Let's go to Link. all right, Chainlink, we can look at the basically total supply that we will ever see in distribution or in circulation, which is going to be 1 billion, right? So 1 billion link will ever be in the market. Well, I calculated for 800 million. So you can see where I got, you know, 80% of the total supply is in circulation in 3 to 5 years. There's no way to predict this because of how they distributed the tokens. But again, we can overestimate. So that will basically make, okay, the value of this coin $31.25, which is from $2.19 to $31.25. That is a pretty big jump. Okay, so you could turn $1,000 into $14,000. Guys, you know, I know a lot of you come to this channel thinking that you're gonna, you know, get ridiculously rich, right? You think you're gonna come here and make $100,000 of $100. I know a lot of people want to make you think that so you can buy their courses and you can spend money with them, but that's just not the reality. Something like this is not even reality, right? This is the future reality, okay? In the current reality, you don't see jumps like that, okay? You don't see, you know, 14x returns on your money. It just doesn't happen in traditional market unless you're extremely lucky. You more like see 50%. If you're really good and like, you know, you're one of the best in the world, you're making 50 to 70% a year on your money, okay? You do not see, you know, 3,500%. Just doesn't happen, okay? Now, this is for a lot of people that don't like the $14,000 number, think it's too small. That is a crazy return on your money, and I do not mind making $14,000 on my money. Now, let me give you a perspective, right? So let's say you invested 20 grand. Well, that just turned into $285,000. Now, I don't recommend to people to put, you know, go take a loan out on their house, go sell their car to put it into Chainlink. Obviously not. But if, let's say, for example, you had $100,000 sitting in your bank account from savings or whatever the case may be, you took 1/5 of your money and put it into cryptocurrency and you got a $285,000 return, I know for a fact you're not going to be mad about that. So this is pretty realistic in my opinion. Maybe you can play around with it. Maybe you say, oh, well, they're not going to distribute, you know, 80% of their coins. Maybe they're going to distribute 70% of their coins. Well, if they do that, it's going to be even more expensive because of how the economics work. So say you invest $1,000, well, it's going to be worth $35. Right, and you make 16,000 instead of 14,000. Oh, well, let's say it does get to an XRP, you know, type of market cap. Let's say that much money gets into Chainlink, which I believe is a little bit more realistic just because more money in general is coming in. So to see, you know, a $50 billion market cap valuation is not going to be far-fetched for a lot of coins that it is far-fetched right now, because we are, you know, we're not in a bull market, right? So let's just say we see $50 billion market cap. Well, $71 Chainlink. Now we're turning 1,000 into 32,000. Now a lot of your eyes are like, oh, okay. Again, I was underestimating this a lot, okay? I think cryptocurrency is going to pass the value of, for example, you know, definitely Apple. I don't see why it wouldn't, right? I would see, you know, I think, you know, 1 trillion is very realistic in the next 10 years. 1 trillion in general with all cryptocurrency. And I believe that if Chainlink keeps doing what it's doing, it's going to capture a lot of that market cap. But that's my price prediction on Chainlink. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think I was being too greedy or underestimating, or do you think it was pretty accurate? Let me know below in the comment section. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.